I think we can get started. Let's get started. You're gonna hang out here? Okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming on a Friday. How's everyone doing? Good. I'm gonna get Dave Robbins. He's our lawyer of the day. He's gonna come in about half hour. Just show a little wave to Dave. I'm Christian, and I'm doing the recruitment side of things, and Dave will be doing all the not getting sued side of things. So just to kick things off, I just want to get a vibe for the room. Who here is, I want to get like positions. Who's in? So who's HR? Just raise a hand. Okay, who's not HR? 1, 2. What do you guys do? General manager. General manager. Yourself? Accounting. So everyone, so we could definitely have a room of HR. Perfect. Who here came trying to learn more on the recruitment and finding people side? Put your hand up. What's like importance level? Put your hand up versus the legislation side. So a lot of legislation and a little bit of both. A little bit of both, hopefully. Okay, perfect. Dave, you're more important than I am. Clearly, everyone put more. So, all right. So I'm gonna get right into it. We're gonna go first half hour, and I'm gonna make this as interactive as fun as possible. I promise I'm not a boring guy, so we're gonna have fun with this. First half hour, I'm gonna talk about the recruitment side of how to kick off when you want to start looking for a position to all the way finding someone, finding the right person, right? Everyone, I guess, let me feel out who has more issues with actually finding people versus keeping people. Let's say who's having a hard time finding people. Put your hand up. Finding people versus keeping people. You're hiring them and then there's turnover, right? You guys just put your hand up. You got to put them up. I got to see them. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to dive into my goal personally today is to give you guys a few tips, things that literally you could just go and implement today when you get back to the office. Small, subtle things. A lot of you guys, some of you has anyone here dealt with a recruitment company before? Anyone? Put your hands up. Okay, they suck, they're terrible, right? Yeah, perfect. I'm not afraid to point that out. So a lot of the questions I get as a recruitment company, usually from people like you, is what makes you different. Okay, so I don't have one thing that makes me different. What I'm going to show you guys today are a bunch of small things that when you do them, it all kind of adds up, and it's things that you could do yourself. You don't need a recruitment company to help you, whether you do or you don't. This isn't a sales pitch. I'm just saying what I'm going to do for you today is give you a couple things that if you combine them together, it could really help with finding good people and keeping good people and making sure you hire the right person. That way you don't have to have someone quit on you in a week and you got to do it all over again. I'm sure has anyone had to deal with that? I think you found someone and after a week it's like, oh, well, that didn't work out, right? Or they didn't even show up day one, right? You're all excited. You tell your boss, I got someone finally. It's been like 2 months and then all of a sudden they don't show up, right? We've all been there, right? Or they work out for about a month, or you use a recruitment company and then you pay a big fat bill and then all of a sudden they quit and now you're out money. Have we all been there? Yes, some people. A lot of head nods. Perfect. So we got the right room at least. So perfect. So just to introduce a little bit about myself. So I started the company about 5 years ago. This is my team sitting right there. We got Samantha, Waven, John, Brooke, Avery, and Theodora here. So let's dive into it. I want to start the process just along. How do we do this? Where are we? There's my lovely team. And I want to talk about sourcing. To make it very simple is who are we looking for? Okay, and finding candidates. And I'm not even talking interviewing yet. We're in the very beginning of, I have a job and I need to get people to know about this job. That's where we're at. So key takeaways, a couple key points that's very, very important. Why do I keep looking here? I got a whole screen right up there. So the first mistake that I see from dealing with a lot of people like yourself in HR is when we start prying into a certain position and we start asking the HR person, well, does this matter? Does this matter? And they say, well, I'm not sure. It's the operations manager that knows that position better than I do, right? Have we been in that scenario where sometimes we've worked on a position that someone else in the company knows it very well, but you're the HR person that started 2 months ago and You're still getting the lay of the land for the company. We've all been there. Yes. So step one, and I see this all the time. Someone in your company comes saying, I need this person. And the first thing we do within a half hour, we put up a job posting and good luck. And us as HR people have no clue what we're looking for. We're just kind of going off of a job description. Taking 5 minutes to really pry and ask questions. If there's one thing, like slow it down, slow someone down, of understand the role. I think we could all relate to that. Go to the shop floor or wherever it may be and really understand what is this person, what's the role entail, and who do we actually need. That's step one. You have no idea. Almost every company I deal with, they don't even know who they're looking for. But they're putting up a posting and then they're saying, I can't find people, or I hired someone and they only lasted a week. And it's like, you don't even know what you're looking for. So that's just a little of, it may sound like common sense, but I see it every day. And I think a little piece of everyone here could agree that that has happened to us. Fair? Yes? Head nods? Okay, perfect. So step one is actually learning the job. And then from there, it's who's the target audience. I want you to think of, I'm going to change your mindset of a position and hiring to think like a marketer. Hiring is a marketing game. A position, think of it like a product. Then you have an ideal candidate, which is an ideal customer in a way. And our job is to understand who's the ideal person. And this applies to a forklift driver all the way up until an executive. The same concept comes is, who is my ideal person? And let's have a meeting to talk about it. Like to the detail, like not just qualifications, but personality, really diving into the details of what does this company actually need. Before getting on Indeed and putting up your posting, all this has to happen. So understand the position and understand who do we actually need. Having that meeting, most companies never actually do. Like a deep sit down with everybody and get everyone's opinion on who's the right person, irrelevant of the position and how low salary it is or high salary, okay? The next step, before even starting any recruiting, is actually doing your homework. There's so many times where a company will come to me, say, I'm looking for this person. I know the role very well. This is what we need exactly, but this is how much I'm paying, or this is my hours. And when you compare it to your competitors, it's totally off. And it's like, I can't help you. So doing the homework on the industry is very, very important. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. Today, and all it takes is 5 minutes. It's a 5-minute search, which will save so much time in the future. So everything that I just said right in this slide here could happen within a 10-minute meeting, a half-hour meeting. Rounding up the team, tell me about the position if you want me to go out and find someone. Tell me who do we actually need, and how are we comparing? How are we going to package this to compare? That way we can appeal to that person. Fair? Are we good so far? Basic, nothing revolutionary, just needs a reminder though. I think we all need to just remember how to do this. This is every time, every position, irrelevant of the wage. So next year, so for me, they're my 3 favorite questions to ask at the very basic, before even starting to recruit. These questions right here are my favorite questions that answer it all. If you want to take a picture of this, you want to write them all down, to me, this answers everything. It's so easy. 1 is, again, like I said, who's our ideal candidate and talking about it. 2 is how do I get their attention now? So my ideal candidate, let's try to think of a position here. Someone throw out a position for me. Any position that you might be hiring for right now. Just shout it out. What do we got? What was that? A forklift driver. Okay, so a forklift driver. I literally asked myself, if I wanted a forklift driver, if I was a forklift driver looking for a job, where would I go? Okay. So with a forklift driver, I could tell you most likely, it tends to be a higher turnover position. This one's a basic, put up a job posting, you'll have forklift drivers going on Indeed or anything online, maybe on Facebook, they see hiring for a forklift driver and that's where they would be. So I'm like, okay, let's put something up on social media and let's put something up on Indeed. Let's do something, what's your title again, sorry? General manager of, how big of a scope? General manager of, you're in Pure Flavor, so you're a busy guy. I know. Okay, so someone like you for a position, let's say I'm looking for a general manager to run how many employees? 400, to run 400 employees. If I'm looking for someone, if my position is I need a general manager to manage 400 employees, the real honest answer is that person isn't looking for a job. The right person for me is not going to be on Indeed. If they are, I'm a little concerned. Fair? Fair, you're one of them. When was the last time you were on Indeed looking for a job? There you go. So that's my last question here. Would the candidate apply, or would we have to approach them? So remind me your name again. Ryan. If I wanted to find a guy like Ryan, I got to headhunt the crap out of Ryan. I'm not putting up a posting. Ryan will never come on my posting. And most people make that mistake of, let's put up a posting for a general manager, and then, or whatever the title may be, where you end up finding that no one meets the qualifications. That's usually an indicator is that person that you're actually looking for is not applying. You're going to get a bunch of other people applying that will never match the role. So asking that question is, do I need to go find them, or do I just need to put up a posting? That right there, that last question is my favorite one. Okay. And that, it makes things so much easier when now you know. It's like, why am I going to get frustrated over a job posting that's not working when I know I got to do a different play? And I'm going to teach you guys a couple things that you could do of how to figure out how to headhunt Ryan. Okay. Ryan, right? Yes. Perfect. Sorry, I'm picking on you, man. You were the first. He showed up. He was so excited. He showed up at 10:45. He showed up 45 minutes early. He was so excited to learn. Okay. So now we're going to get into a couple of the strategies of, actually, now that we understand the position, we understand the ideal candidate, we understand the approach we need to take, whether it's attracting them to apply or whether we're going to go find them. I'm going to give you guys a couple of strategies here. So let's start with Indeed. Who here is actually managing the Indeed for their company? Put your hand up. Okay. Are you guys spending money on Indeed? Is there a budget for Indeed? No? You guys, everyone's doing it for free? Is there anyone here spending any money on Indeed? Okay. You shouldn't be. I'm going to give you every possible way to enhance your Indeed. It's not a bad thing that you are. I used to spend like $3 grand a month on Indeed until last year. I probably spent like 100. So I'm going to give you guys a couple things that are very important on Indeed that you need to do. One, going back to just taking one step, the research side. So can you flip over, Theodora? I'm going to take you guys to Indeed right now. Here, look, you're going to have to look on the screen there. So on Indeed, when the research of the position, you guys are familiar with Hiring Insights? Hiring Insight on Indeed? Anyone not familiar with it? Put your hand up. It's okay. We're here to learn. Okay, perfect. I'm going to change your life. In your Indeed account, this is my Indeed account. Okay, in your Indeed account, on the side, you're going to go to Analytics, and you're going to go to Hiring Insights. This is the part where you want to learn the competition. Is we're looking for a forklift driver in Leamington. What's the average salary of a forklift driver? I'm just giving a very basic example. This is where you just simply put in the country, the job title, and the location. And that's where you're going to get, let's just do anything. Dude, let's stick with forklift driver, forklift operator, and just do Leamington. Let's narrow it down. Let's narrow it down to Leamington or Windsor. See what we get. And you guys are going to see what it's going to look like. And you're seeing, we're doing this real time. So you're seeing how quick this could be, and it's going to give so much information. So actually go right back to the top. Something very important. Where's the date? Go up to the date all the way to the top there. Notice on the top, it says January 2024. It goes back a year because it's seasonal. Sometimes some positions are very seasonal. So I would encourage you, put your information in, what position, and click through the different dates because it'll change the data. Okay, so let's do January 2024. Let's scroll down. It's going to give you average salary in the area. It's going to give you trends. It's going to show you how competitive it is. So right now, essentially, 50% of people are looking for a forklift driver. The average number, what's that? What's the 16 again? Number of jobs posted in Leamington, the number of people applying, job seekers. So all that's there. Go down. Go down. This is where you have your average salary. Go down even more. It's going to give you exactly who's even looking for one. So this should tell us, here's the employees. Nature Fresh. Who is from Nature Fresh? I know you're hiring a forklift driver. There you go. Right? There's Pure Flavor on there. I know I've been picking on them. There's Pure Flavor right there. So I'm going to teach you guys ways to why. This is, I was warned by our friend. Does anyone here know Joe Cheravino from Antonino's? Anyone? Anyways, Antonino's Pizza, my friend Joe, he knows the lay of the land of Leamington. He's like, you are the bravest guy to put all the greenhouse guys together in one room. He's like, these guys, he literally, his exact words was check for guns in the front before having you guys in here. So, so I'm showing you guys ways, the information we got to it in less than a minute. You're going to see who's posting, and you're going to see the average salaries. At least you guys are at the end of the day competing against each other, but at the same time, everyone's looking out for themselves. You got to have your own data to understand what's going on in the market, what's the realistic. And this could apply to any position. Now you could also change from there, you start playing around with the city. If you want to look for a general manager that is not in Leamington, you want to bring someone in from outside, you could play around, change the city. Of course, you could change the dates and just scroll through and just get the numbers. You'd be amazed. The data is just going to answer questions for you all in minutes. So now that we understand everything they want, now you're going to have, let's actually dive into putting up postings. By the way, any questions here? Anyone feeling good? Is everyone feeling good? If I just stop talking right now, you learned something, you could leave so far? Okay, perfect. Next step is now I'm going to put up a posting on Indeed, and I actually want it to work. There's a couple of tricks. Avery, this is where I'm going to steal you. Poor girl, she's hiding in the back. Come over. Come to me. I know I didn't tell you I'm going to get you to the front. I told you I was going to point at you, but so everyone, this is Avery. She's my lead recruiter. Give her a little shout. Poor girl's a little. Here. So, couple tips, things, because I don't know this. This is her world. Couple things they could do on a posting to make sure it performs at its best for free.
When you put up an Indeed posting, it automatically makes you or tells you that you should be sponsoring it. That it shows like if you put it up for free, you'll get 1 applicant, but if you put it up sponsored, you'll get 30. Which is not the case at all. So if you were putting up a posting, most people put it up, leave it, touch it, don't touch it again, and it gives you a bunch of people within the first week, and then after that, you're getting 1 or 2 here and there. So making sure that you're reposting it, like on it all the time, at least every 2 weeks, it should be reposted because then it's at the top of the lead. If you leave it, it goes right to the bottom. People aren't really looking unless they're actively applying to every single forklift position on Indeed, and you don't want someone like that desperate for a job.
Because you have also, so the post, by reposting, it's not just like pausing it and then re-kicking it off. It's actually deleting it completely.
Getting rid of it and putting up an entire new
put a fresh one every 2 weeks. Maximum every 2 weeks. That'll bring it right back up. What's the other thing?
If you're really looking for more of a higher level position and still want to utilize Indeed, posting in other areas. Don't just post it for in Leamington, post it in Windsor, post it in Toronto, post it in London. If you have multiple postings up, you're attracting different candidates from other areas that might be willing to relocate. Asking because there's the questions that you can ask when someone's applying, putting right in there, are you willing to relocate to Leamington or Windsor, somewhere within the area that's drivable to here. That way you're still attracting different candidates than you would if you were just posting it in
that helps a lot. This is like a trick that we use that just works like a charm every time. If we can't find someone in Leamington, let's say we're looking for something in Leamington, can't find anyone, I'll be like, okay, put the same exact posting, copy paste it, just change, have 6 of them at the same time. 1 in Kingsville, 1 in Windsor, 1 in Amherstburg, 1 in London, and have all these postings, they'll all work together. It seems like a lot. It's like now you got all these postings to manage, but at the end of the day, the job's getting filled. Like you're finding people, right? And it's just one quick little edit, copy paste. Works like a charm every time.
Then my last thing that I do is manipulating the job title. Sometimes you have a job title that is reused and comes from upper management, and even though that might be what this person is offered and it's on their offer letter, using more like searchable words that would come up with someone when they're searching, like their skills, or if a job title is similar to another where you could be hiring just an engineer for maybe a specific area, but you can make the job posting a little bit more broad and make it more specific within the actual job description. People still pull from the job description the keywords that are in there, but making the job title a little bit less complicated, and sometimes you see them on, but they can be shortened.
Job title works like a charm every time too, because even, Ryan, I'm picking on you again. A general manager could mean a lot of things for a lot of people and totally different. There's general managers at gas stations versus a general manager of a major corporation with 400 people, right? So it's how do you play around with that title to attract that right person in that industry? So it would be more so if something like fancy for yourself, is I would do like executive general manager or executive greenhouse general manager. I probably won't even use general manager. I probably would use like greenhouse director or something director level, something totally different. So I don't get a bunch of people that it would be a $20 an hour general manager applying to this position. And now I got 150 applicants I got to go through, right? So really thinking of that is probably one of the easiest adjustments that we make, just so we don't flood with the wrong people, or just at the end they get the right people, right? Because it's marketing at the end of the day. Who are you appealing to? Thank you, Avery. Was there anything else? You're good?
Have your social media.
Oh, yes. So social media. So actually getting traffic to your posting instead of actually sponsoring a job posting on Indeed. What you do is you create we all live on Instagram and Facebook. Is there anyone here who's not on Instagram and Facebook these days? There's a very small percentage. Most are on, right? A lot of the people are always, whenever they're taking their break at work, they're always scrolling on their Instagram, on their Facebook, whatever. I would much rather, if I'm going to spend any money, I'd rather spend a couple $100s on Facebook, create either a little video or create a little image saying, we're hiring. And then the learn more link is the link to the job posting on Indeed. So they end up clicking that, takes them on Indeed. Here's the job description, apply there. If you were to spend money, that's the only time I do it. Okay, so that's the Indeed side. Any questions? Anything? Everyone learned something here? Perfect. Okay, next. LinkedIn. I'm going to show you guys the coolest thing on LinkedIn. Now we're going to get into a little bit of the headhunting side. LinkedIn is the space for anything very professional. I'm going to show you guys the coolest trick that I guarantee you none of you know. It's one of my secrets, so don't tell anyone else. Okay? So let's jump over to LinkedIn. We're going to do a little activity here. So if I want to headhunt on LinkedIn, I'm going to see if actually I could find you on. Are you on LinkedIn? You're on there, right? Okay, perfect. Let's say I'm looking for a director level HR manager or general manager in the greenhouse space in Leamington. So let's play with it. What would be a keyword we'd use here? Let's put general manager, but in quotations. Notice it's in quotations. Okay. Then you have the options of the word and, or, the word or. Can we show them all three options? All capital letters, very important. All capital letters. The words and, or, and the word not. Okay, meaning when I put in quotations, by the way, does anyone here know what I'm doing? Have they seen this before? And has anyone here seen the quotation thing? Perfect. See, I knew you guys wouldn't know. So so what we're doing here is we're having LinkedIn do a control F essentially on every single profile on LinkedIn. Look for these words. And my choice is I want general manager and the word, let's do something greenhouse related, agriculture, greenhouse, greenhouse, maybe food industry. Put agriculture, vegetable. That's something along the lines. We'll try it, and you play around with these words. So close that. So essentially what I'm asking LinkedIn is I want both words to be on the profile. If I put the word or, it's one or the other. So I noticed, so pay attention to go to people. You have to click people. Pay attention to the number of people. You're going to have an insane number, 19,000, way too many. So we still haven't honed it in. So now if I had put the word or, it would give me more than 19,000, but I'm looking for both. So now let's play around with the filters. Let's go Leamington. Let's see who we get. I guarantee you some people are going to be like, hey, that's me. I'm going to teach you guys exactly how to headhunt Ryan if you want to get him. So now we're looking the Leamington area. I'm scrolling. What was the total number on the top? 15? Does anyone here see themselves? Anyone that they work with? Scroll down here. Is he on there? Is there another page? Go to the next page. Suspense. By the way, just a real quick question. Does anyone here have a hard stop at 1 o'clock? If we're having fun, is it okay we can go over? Does anyone have a hard stop? You do? Okay. No problem. Perfect. But you guys are okay if we're having a good time here and we got you stimulate, because I want to make sure you guys take something back and then that you never have to use a recruitment agency again. So I'm kind of getting myself in trouble here, but thanks a lot. Okay, did we find it? So why don't we take out agriculture, just put general manager, and now let's play with the industry. So I'm showing you guys take out the word and completely. I just want general manager. Hit enter. Let's go to the filters again. In the filter, go all filters. I'm showing you guys, this is what I do real time. All filters, go down to the industry, put agriculture. There it is, or what is that right there? Usually it's an option right there. Farming, yeah, give me that farming one. And then I think type in agriculture as well. Let's see who we get. Come on, Ryan, where are you hiding? He probably doesn't have the word general manager on there. He does have, I'm going to find him, I swear. Keep going. Go back to agriculture, go to the industry, put agriculture, because I know that it's not just farming. No, in the all filters.
Greenhouse.
I think greenhouse. I'm going to find you, Ryan. I'm going to find you, I promise. Give me, go add industry, type in agriculture. There it is, perfect. That one, the first one. Okay, hit. Keep that one too, that's fine. It'll add both. Show results, what are we at now? 18, where are you, Ryan? Where are you, Ryan? I'm going to get you. Keep going. Maybe he's a LinkedIn member and he's hiding. Hold on. If I really wanted to just get to him, all I got to do, if I didn't know Ryan's existence and I wanted to target Pure Flavor, then all I got to do is put in under the company Pure Flavor, and then I'll find you. I'm just trying to go the hard way first. I'm going that I don't know the company or anything. So Ryan's not in here still? Okay, go to the current company, put in Pure Flavor. I guarantee you we'll find Ryan. Maybe he doesn't have the word general manager on there. Maybe it's a director or something. Sometimes people on LinkedIn, they like to hype themselves up a little bit. No, go to the company. Go companies. Oh yeah, okay. Give me Pure Flavor. We'll find them in there. See, the suspense is building up. Pure Flavor. You're gonna make me look bad if I don't find you, Ryan. Go to the next, right there. Come on, show me Ryan. You know what? Take out Leamington. Take out Leamington. Take out Leamington. He's probably, where do you live, Ryan? He does live in Leamington, but he might have Ontario. Some people do Ontario. So, oh, you're killing me, man. No, I can't find it. You're in there somewhere. Do you have the word general manager on your? You do. Okay, hold on. Now we really got to find him. Keep general manager.
Maybe I'm not that good.
Maybe no kidding. If he has general manager, he's on LinkedIn. We got the industry. Now you really got me puzzled. We put in the company as well. That's your current company. Take out current company. Just put company in general. And this is how you play with it, by the way. I'm adding a little time into this because the reality right now we're having fun trying to find Ryan. But what you would actually be doing, sometimes the audience is 400 or 500 people and you're tying into an area, right? You're not going after, obviously we're just kidding around going after Ryan over here. But if I wanted to know generally who's the type of person I'm looking for, I play with the search. I put in the titles. I put in the skill set. Sometimes I put in, if it's certain software that they've used, I put that into those quotations, and it's searching what people would write on their LinkedIn. Then from there, I play around with the industry. I play around with the city. I play around with the companies, and it will give me a population. So let's do the scenario. We're looking for a civil engineer right now. Type in exactly what we're looking for, and I'll show you guys how this will work real time, what we do. So we did civil engineer, and we want designer. Yes. So civil, yesterday, we were just doing this yesterday. Civil 3D is the software, and we're looking for a designer that uses that software, and I want it in the Windsor area. So we've got 61 people here. Okay, let's take out the industry. I want locations. Give me Windsor, Ontario. This is something we did yesterday for a position we're working on right now. Okay. Ryan, I'm upset with you, man. You made me look bad. I couldn't find you.
Pure hot house.
Pure hot house. That might be it. So, okay. So notice at the top here, when I'm looking fresh, I'm looking for a designer, civil engineer. In Windsor, there's 44 people. All I do is make a message, copy paste these 44 people and reach out to them. So that's a way I use LinkedIn to kind of hone in. Okay, something more realistic for whatever position you'd be looking for. Of when you ask yourself that question of where is that person, a forklift driver is probably not on LinkedIn. Okay, I'm not being stereotypical here. I'm just saying, like, they're probably not. Okay, but an executive or a manager, an engineer, professional positions, they are on LinkedIn. So that's where you decide, let me go find them before I even put up a posting. We actually didn't even put up a job posting for this. I was like, okay, these are the 44 people I need to target. One of them is going to want a job. One of them is probably not happy where they are. And you play the game from there and you reach out to them. Fair? We had a little fun with this one. I'll move on to the next topic. But you guys learned something there? You guys like that trick on LinkedIn? Very helpful. Very, very, very helpful. Works like a charm every time. Okay, let's go. You know what? I'm actually really liking you doing that for me. Okay, let's go to the next one, please. So, headhunting. I'm going to talk about headhunting. People always say, oh, poaching and stealing and all this stuff. It's a small town. You guys are all looking at each other trying to figure out who's taking my guy. Okay? We do this all the time, very respectfully, and I'll give you our strategy of what we do. So let's say piggybacking off of LinkedIn, for example. And let's say I did find Ryan. This is a very difficult guy on LinkedIn to find. And I am looking for someone who's like him. And I do reach out to him. Hey, I'm hiring. Are you happy where you are? Yes or no? If it's a yes, leave him alone. If it's a no, the guy's going to leave anyways. That's my philosophy. If you aren't happy where you are, you're looking. It always starts with, are you happy? Yes or no? And when someone tells me I'm really happy, I say, thanks, buddy. I'm not going to bother you. God bless you. Nice to meet you. If you ever need anything, save my number. Small town here. We keep it respectful. But that's usually when I get the answer of, oh, you know what? My life could be made a little bit better. This is how I headhunt is I do the following. I find out what is it about their life that could be made better. Is it the commute? Is it that, is it the wage? Is it, here's a couple like questions we have here. So we got wage, we've got maybe you didn't have benefits, maybe depending on the position. Is it the hours? Maybe you're working, you know what, can I use your dad as an example? 20 years, CNC, loyal to the company, but now he's 50, not 30, and he's working the afternoon shift, and now he's like, it's like the afternoon shift, 50 years old. I think they're not putting me on days. This is the time maybe I'm considering a change. Loyal, great employee to the company, never worked anywhere else, right? But I wait for those to see, is there something that maybe I could help them? Then from there, if I'm the company and I found out something, then from there, our job is to say, one, do they solve our problem? Yes, we'd like to have them here. This is the problem that they have. Sometimes it's not money. Sometimes it's not, here's more money. Sometimes it's just someone wants to be on days instead of afternoons. Give them the solution. It's win-win both ways. That's how we headhunt. We keep it nice and clean, keep it simple. Are you happy where you're at? Yes. Leave them alone. No. Why are you not happy? This is the reason. If I could accommodate, perfect. Nice and simple, right? So that's really all I have on headhunting. I'm just going to keep it simple there. So now we've kind of talked about preparing for a position and going out there, and I showed you guys a couple strategies, things to do on Indeed, things to do on LinkedIn, things to do as far as when talking to people and you're meeting people at this event. Maybe one of you guys are going to be asking, hey, are you happy where you're working? And nudging each other. So now we're going to transition to the actual retention portion. Now that I've found people to meet, what am I going to do in the interview process? This is, to me, if we could remember anything else as the next step. Can we go, where are we? Oh, we're here. Okay. So I want to talk about the interview process, how I haven't seen any company actually do it perfectly. I really haven't. And it's so simple. The interview process directly impacts your retention, directly impacts it. I don't care what anyone says. What you do in your interview process will determine if this person's going to even show up day one, or if this person's going to quit after week one, a month one, or last a very long time. Okay. So in the interview process, you're going to balance two things, the qualifications, obviously, and the culture. Very, very important. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. And that's going to be my last slide until I pass you on to Dave over there. So I want you to look at it three ways. There needs to be three people in this process. Okay. If you don't have three people, figure it out. You have to have three people in this process. Usually our customers, they call us because they don't have three people for this. It has to be three people. There's the pre-screener, there's the initial interview, and then there's the final interviewer. So who here is an HR person? That they're the only HR person, and they're the ones that deal with the posting. They put them up. You guys back there, okay? You put up the posting. When the postings come in, you do the interviews, correct? And then you probably maybe pass them on to another manager for a final interview, but sometimes you give the job offer there. Yes? Okay. When you're putting up the posting, you're getting flooded with a ton of positions, a ton of applicants, but your job isn't just recruiting, right? You're doing other stuff in HR, right? I'm getting a bunch of head nods. Perfect. So then you're like if you got 100 applicants today, how long is it going to take you to go through them? Long time, right? Along with everything else that's going on. Head nods. Are we agreeing? Okay. Here comes the sales pitch. Get ready. So pre-screening, so pre-screening, if you notice, I got 100%, 0, 50-50, 20-30. What that comparison is, it's Pre-screening, all you're doing is 100% on qualifications, 0% on culture. So what we do for pre-screening, we literally have assistants. They get these applicants coming in. We prepare a pre-screening checklist. So it could be 3 questions of, we're sticking with a forklift driver. Are you a current forklift driver? Yes. Check. Do you have a valid forklift license? Yes. Check. Maybe a third question. What would be a question you'd ask if you're pre-screening a forklift driver? Who was it back there? What would be a question you'd ask? Initial. Do you have any previous forklift experience and how many years? Basic, like 3-second questions. I could be on the phone with you for a minute. Hi, thanks for applying. Just real quick. Do you have a forklift license? Yes. How many years experience? Are you currently working? And if the answer is yes, then we now know we're at least talking with someone with the qualification. They get passed on to the next person. This person should not be the HR person. Okay, because can we admit this is what takes, especially for positions that have a lot of applicants, this takes up a lot of our time that we don't want to do. Yes? Where your boss is not here, they won't know. Yes? Okay, perfect. So this could be anyone in the company. Find someone in the company where here's all the applicants. Like we go through 100, one pre-screener goes through like 100 applicants a day. That's their job. Here's my question for this job. Bang, bang, bang. Call them in. Because now what I don't want to miss out on is if I do have 100 applicants and now I'm like, oh my God, when am I going to get to them? Well, I don't want to pick the first 5 people and try to find someone there. I want to go through all of them and pick the best 5 people. Like you can't miss out on that step. There's someone in there of the 100 people, someone in there is good, but you got to find them with what time. So that's where the pre-screener comes in that takes the list of 100. Here's my 3 questions, pure qualification. It takes a 1-minute call. Do you have this? That narrows down the list to now, let's say 15 people. This is where your first round interviewer comes in. So for us, this is when Avery comes in. She's got her assistants that pre-screen. Then they say, here, Avery, for each position, here's the 10 that are good. Avery knows the position inside and out. That's you guys, the HR people, okay? You guys know the position inside and out. You know what you're looking for. You're not the final interviewer, but you at least now you've saved a lot of your time because now you're meeting at least the qualified ones. Your job there is to incorporate now the culture. And okay, yeah, you may be a fit, but maybe, I don't know, whatever the reasons are, whatever culture-wise, you start talking to them, it's like, we can't see that we could get along with these people. Or, you know, like there's an aspect, there's a human element to it, right? That person is also very important dealing with all the no-shows. Who gets no-shows to interviews? Right? Okay. I can't get you out of that one. You still got to deal with a no-show. Sorry. But at least you didn't go through 100 resumes and then still have a no-show. At least this time you had someone help you out to say, here are the people that are qualified and deal with the no-shows. What is it? Probably 4 out of 10 people actually show up. So if the sooner you accept this, that's for lower level positions. Higher, it's a totally different ratio. But the person, this job here, this is a 15-minute conversation. It has to either be a video call or in person. This person is 1, seeing if this person is going to actually show up. 2, if they kind of fit. And 3, if they truly do, it wasn't just a yes, no answer. Now it's not, do you have forklift experience? Yes. Now it's, well, tell me about that. Where do you work? And it's more of a conversation. You're extracting information. What type of forklifts? There's different ones for different applications, right? So this is where you get more information in 15 minutes. So now what's happening here is this person is then going to schedule an interview with a final interviewer. Now within this process, because there's been 3 touch points, automatically someone who's not taking the job seriously is not going to meet with you 3 times. So you already weeded out the people that aren't serious. Can we all agree with that stat? Like, does that even just basic common sense? I don't even need to show data behind that, right? The fact that they may have not shown up here. How many times there's no shows here? Usually there isn't. It's very rare that there's a no-show there. With what we do this portion right there. So with our customers, do we even, I'm not afraid to say that someone didn't show up to an interview for, never happened. It's never happened because this person is also, these people are also keeping in touch with the candidate and the person to schedule everything here. By this point, you're now meeting for the 3rd time. I've got someone serious. They've already ditched me over here. That's where the fallout happens. That right there already fixes retention, in my opinion, because I know I have someone serious. And then we're not even talking, final interviews could be multiple. Like we've gone as far as 5 interviews in total. So we do this portion, we do our 2 interviews. It could be the one and done where it's directly, like if we're working with you, I might not even send it directly to the HR manager. I might go straight to the GM. Here we go. They've been pre-screened, they've been interviewed, straight to them. Done. Do the interview, you hire them, yes or no. and you guys decide within your company if you need multiple rounds. But the more rounds you have, even for a $15 an hour position, you do it, because then you don't have to deal with it later. It's just that extra 5 minutes. You hire them, they start and go. Now, most important, one last comment and then I'm done here. In your interview process, we make the mistake of you tell me about you and we're learning about them. You have to tell the candidate what they're signing up for. The reason why someone would quit after the first day is honestly because they showed up to a place and they're like, whoa, what is this? This is not what they told me. Let's just admit that. Like, we have to at least say that. In your interview process, usually it's right here. It's usually exactly right here where we are learning from them, but we are also educating them. Saying things like, the problem we're having is our general manager needs an executive assistant because he's so busy and he needs someone to take care of this, 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 and this, someone he could depend on. You may get calls after hours, this, that. We're telling them the good, bad, and the ugly. We're telling them everything, because I'd rather you tell me this isn't for you than to move you on to the next step and sign you up for something to try to convince you. It's okay. You'll get other applicants. If it's not for them, you saved yourself 3 months and finder's fee to a recruitment company. Trust me. Okay. So being just real and saying, this is the problem we have in the company. This is why we're hiring you. You're going to be a solution. The candidate will be a solution to this position. Okay. Being that transparent, it's okay. And it's very important, because then now they know what they're signing up for. They'll get excited for it. They'll see themselves as a solution. And then now with this step, you've now taken them very seriously. They've taken it very seriously along the way, that this person's showing up on day one. This person's lasting 30 days. This person's lasting 2 years. Like, the odds are extremely high at this point. Okay. And then one last thing. Now, on the day of the starting, I don't emphasize, is this perfect? On the day of starting, this isn't more my specialist, but it's more like common sense here. I'm going to finish off with a little story. So first days for people, because we could get so caught up with, we've been in the company for a long period of time. We know what it's like. We're comfortable. Remind yourself, what was day one like? Okay. Depending, especially on the bigger the company, the more overwhelming it could be. The smaller the company, the more intimate it could be. It's like if I invited you to a house party, even when you guys were coming in, I said, guys, come on in, food's in the back, take a seat anywhere you want. Versus if no one was there, you came in, you're wondering, and you're like, do I sit anywhere? Do I go get food now? Do I go get it later? Having someone to say, here, let me just walk you through, just go over there, do this, that. Having a bit of an experience of a welcoming process of, this is someone new, let's show them around, show them the facility. Here's a friend, this guy, any question you got, ask him. Doing something as simple as that will make someone feel comfortable. It's like, oh, come in, oh, thanks for having me. Oh, food's in the back, perfect, right? Oh, I can stay anywhere, thank you. Versus sitting and wondering and it's a full room, right? Because it can be very intimidating. So that's just really what I wanted to end on there, is when you actually have them, welcoming them, doing something that takes the jitters away will go a long way. This person will not quit. You'd have to screw it up later by having like a supervisor that's really angry at them or something, then they'll quit. But up until that point, we would have done everything possible in our odds, from designing the position, looking for the right person, designing the pre-screening process, having multiple interviews, letting them know about us, to then welcoming them. We at least did our part, that we got nothing to blame. Some personalities, we know they're nuts. Like we know it, we see it, but some things are out of our control. But at least you could say on your part, I've got a great process, and there's no way we're going to get the wrong person. And it's okay waiting an extra week, extra month for the right person rather than rushing. So that's all I have from my end. And I know I probably went over. I definitely went over. My God, I'm going to put quick question. Yes. Thank you. Yep.
Passive response or reaching out.
Yep.
When you're headhunting, obviously that first call, first point of contact, is really important to sell the culture of the people. Just wondering what your process would be there.
Yes. So again, headhunting, my process is really learning about them. What is it that you need? And then from there, step one is, let's just meet. When you know you want someone, you want to meet. You want to get the first meeting, right? And you have to remember, the most important thing I find with headhunting, it's a sensitive topic because people want to keep it confidential if they want to entertain something. So you have to have that level of respect of inviting someone. It's not an interview. Never say the word interview in headhunting. It's, hey, can we meet up, talk, give you a chance to know about us? I want to know about you. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, no problem. Getting them to talk, keeping it light, keeping it very light, and focusing your first meeting on what is it that it's important to you that's missing in your life right now. Right? Do you have to be home at a certain time because you got to pick up kids from school and you just never, and now you have a sitter and all, like getting to know them as a person is step one, one-on-one. Don't overwhelm. You cannot show up with 2-3 people saying, we're about to headhunt this guy. No, this is very intimate. It's, let's sit one-on-one, me and you. If it all sounds good, then it's, are you okay with meeting again with now the owners or management or whatever? And it won't be an interview. It'll be another meeting offsite. That's generally how I do it with headhunting. It's very delicate, subtle. I don't call it interviews. I call it, let's just, step one is meet with them one-on-one, get to know them, come up with, find some common ground of you're each other's solution. And from there, inviting them to, let's do it one more time. And we're going to keep this discreet. And always reminding them that if something doesn't come from this, nobody needs to know. That's the reality of the situation. Okay. So the more intimate it is, the better off you are. Okay. Anything else? We can ask questions later. Again, if you guys, I'm here. So did I actually do that in time? I did. Oh, holy crap. I thought I went way over. It seems a lot longer than, no problem. Come on over, Dave. I'm going to introduce Dave Robbins for you guys, and we'll go from there. So now the more fun stuff of making sure, now that we found the person that you need, you've brought him in, we got to make sure you don't get sued from something with this person. So that's where Dave comes in. So here, you know, I don't mind doing that for you, Dave, and you can just,
okay, great.
I don't mind. Yeah. I'll do that for you there, and I'll get this out of the way for you here.
Thanks for having me, everyone. Dave Robbins, I'm a partner with Strasburg Sasso Sets. I've got a really varied practice.